Fate Zero, episode 9. It's been a couple weeks since we watched. Just kind of got away from us, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. They had the big fight at the mansion, and Elmaloy got absolutely crippled.
It was really good.
The Lancer made off with him because of the honor of Saber.
It's good, but Saber still has the curse on her basically. So
yes,
kind of in the same position, but that guy just got his ass handed to him, which is worth it.
Because of
especially after he came in and thought that he was gonna be all sneaky and I'm just gonna murder this guy and be all tricksy about it, and then he just got completely
bamboozled.
Yeah,
absolutely bamboozled by the mage slayer, by the mage killer. Let's see what happens this time. Leave a like and subscribe. Let's go. Patreon, etc. Let's go.
And leader of the Knights of Fiona, my daughter Granye are pleased to announce their engagement. Want you all to celebrate!
That striking man with the mole beneath his eye. What is his name? He is a Knight of Fiona, diarmuid.
You will suffer for this, diarmuid.
Take me with you. We must run away.
Rejoice, Grania. Fiona's recognized our marriage.
Did you believe I'd forgotten what happened with Grania?
Whoa.
Little Irish folklore.
Dream?
Diarmuid said Irish heroic spirit, which I think is sick, because I never even knew about that story beforehand, and I'm Irish. I just love that how they tell that part of the story too,
just in kind of a piece together.
It just feels so cinematic
flashback.
and cool. Yeah.
Could those have been the memories of my servant?
I see that you're awake now.
He's going chained up.
Sola, what is the meaning of this? What am I doing in this place?
I gather that you have no memory at all of what happened to you.
I was shot. I defended myself.
Your body's magic circuits have misfired somehow. You're lucky you didn't die instantly, only been able to regenerate your organs. Your magic circuits were utterly destroyed. I'm afraid you'll never use magic again.
The character development.
It's too soon to give up. It will be all right. We haven't lost yet. If the Holy Grail is truly an omnipotent wish-granting device, then healing you completely and making you whole again should be more than possible. Everything will return to how it was.
Right.
So, with that in mind, why don't you give the command seals to me? That way, I can take over as Lancer's master.
I won't.
Oh, you don't believe in me then?
I just... Hello, do you think Lancer would actually just abandon me and then swear fealty to you?
I do. He's a heroic spirit here by the Grail's invitation. He desires the Holy Grail. Even if he must take on a new master, he will accept it for the sake of his goal.
If there was ever a cautionary tale about arranged marriages,
She's just don't worry. Give it to me, because my greatest desire is definitely that you will use magic again. I don't have any ulterior motives here. Let me just get the Grail and
keep
the
him forever. Yeah, literally. She's I wonder if they can switch roles and he can still give mana can still be taken, because he has no magic circuits, but he still has mana. He just can't use magic. I don't know.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that too.
Lancer isn't the fine man you think he is.
And why do you say that?
When I asked him what he would wish for if he had the Grail, he said to me, I have no interest in the Holy Grail. He's hiding something important from me. No matter what deep dark secret he's trying to keep hidden, as long as I bear these command seals, he must obey me unconditionally. I won't give you the command seals.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Kenneth. You still don't get it.
You're just gonna kill him.
Don't you see? We must win this war no matter what the cost.
Something about Sakura saying this is fucking with me.
Listen, King. With my limited skills as a healer, it is quite impossible to remove any command seals by force. Bearer's willing consent is the sole way for me to take them without resistance. If you truly cannot accept this, you will leave me no choice. I will have to amputate your right arm.
Something like, just with this, I after finding out how much that this was a lot more inspiring Jujutsu Kaisen, I can see the parts of both that I find so attractive. Like, and I think that's part of it. That the fact that the command seal is a physical thing, like magic being woo-woo magic, is kind of annoying. Like it has its. I think it has its place. I think, but I think there needs to be some kind of interplay between the physical and the spiritual in order for it to feel like tactile. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's being too pretentious, but like magic can be really fun if it's just kind of whimsical and doesn't have any basis. But if you read like, maybe I mentioned this in a previous episode, it's been a couple weeks, but like if you read like religious fables or the types of stories that inspired, you know, the Tolkien fantasy, like post-Tolkien fantasy, like there are rituals that have a basis in a physical thing or something. So like when you see a fantasy and it uses magic and the magic has like a physical aspect to it, it's like all the stories about like in the Bible of Jesus, you know, turning water into wine. He didn't just create wine; he turned water into wine, or like, you know, like
there's ingredients,
or like, you know, the fish. He like creates the food for people, or like in different, like there's a story about I forget what tribes or whatever in ancient Bible times. I forget what even the story was or the characters of the books or whatever. But there was a guy who was a leader of men, or he was an emperor or something, and he was a leper. And then he like took all of his people to go and talk to this healer, or he was like a prophet, I think. And then he told him to go like bathe in the Jordan River. And then he did that. And it was like because he charmed it. There's like, I don't know, like the fact that he had to go do that rather than just be healed. It just, so when in stories like this and like with the Sakuna fingers and stuff like that, like when it's a physical object, it just adds so much. And when the idea of, oh, I can't just rip the command seal away from you, but I can amputate your arm and then take it for myself and hold it physically. You know?
I think the other thing too is that it makes a lot of sense as to why the guy in the church, he has all of the previous command seals, because they don't just disappear, and they're like a separate thing that has already been manifested, and that's why they get like burned away. It's not just like, oh, you have this like random physical marker for something that's completely abstract and not rooted in the physical world at all. But you know, it's like this thing. It's already the whatever magic that makes a command seal has already been expended in order to like physically manifest it and create it, and you like release that magic that like overrides them by like disrupting the like the
physical seal. And so it's like represent that how many times you have is reflected physically. And with that idea, I like that even in a system that like has magic considered so broadly, like there's a lot of specifics to magic, and it feels like it's very well thought out in this system, and in Jujutsu Kaisen as well, or in a bunch of different series. But I like in this series that like magic, what makes it feel like magic to me, as well as having like the physical basis, is that it's not well balanced. Like a magic system, like because we're so video gamified in magic like series, like
everything
there was
needs
Tolkien
to be
and it was like very big in magic, and then over time it became like there needs to be narrative stakes, so then there's like rules placed on it, and then you get to like Harry Potter where there's like open or lock for free, but you know, so it's not properly considered, but there is like the death curse, and then the death curse has a rebound effect on it, you know, like when you curse something, there like the soul gets split or whatever, and then energy gets like put into something else. So but that rule or that balancing is there because of a narrative purpose to the way that the curse interacts with the greater story, and it like is setting something up, so it has narrative weight. That's why there's a rule. And then you get to video games where magic systems need to be interactable on every level, so then everything needs to be at least roughly balanced out so that it cancels each other out. But what I like about this series is that, like, I don't know if it is or it isn't, but it feels like the command seals being stored is like a cheat. It feels like it wasn't, like if the grail has a will and is intending for the command seals to be like given out. Maybe they did intend for the church to like stockpile all of this magic energy, but it feels like they didn't. It feels like it's a cheat. It feels like, but even though it's the Holy Grail and they're the church is like meddling and interfering with, you know, like they're taking sides with Tokyomi, etc. So like it just, I guess I just like that they can, you know, things are intended for a certain way. And then they can just be completely overrided if you're smart enough, because not everything is coded with everything else in mind. And that's how a video game power system, how a lot of modern fantasy can feel sometimes, is that because it all exists in this big network that has to be interactable, you know, that inspires series that come afterwards, after like big video games like Final Fantasy or whatever. And then the whole magic is, you know, kind of the idea of magic is copied from this version of magic that has to be gamified. But this doesn't have to be gamified. It can be ridiculous and like feel fake and feel cheap, but also feel mystical and larger. It's always something that I just always liked about the magic in the show, but I just never articulated before because I'd never had a reason, because we weren't ever reviewing it. But there you go. There's a lot of things about the magic that just feels magical, but still feels like understandable and has that Hunter x Hunter kind of like aspect to it. Anyway. Oh, Maya's alive.
How is she? She's going to be all right. Magical healing can put a tremendous stress on the patient. I think it will take some time yet before she wakes up. Watch her for a while.
Going to report to Kiritsugu now?
Yes, Saber. I'm sure he's worried too.
I'd like you to speak to him for me. Tell him I feel that we must pursue Castor immediately.
But Saber...
Inaction on our part will mean the deaths of many more innocent children.
May I come in?
Did they repair this place?
Maybe it's so big that like half of it didn't get wrecked.
I'm surprised they would stay there.
How long before Maya's back?
Not too long. But she has to stay in bed for another day or two.
Going to go follow Kenneth.
No, Kiritsugu, wait a minute.
Did Saber tell you? She thinks we should go after Castor right away.
Are you angry at Saber for not interfering with Lancer?
Saving a few children is not our goal. Saber probably never doubted that Lancer would spare me that day. But if Lancer had betrayed her, then what? Our Grail War would have ended right then and there.
Trust issues.
There's no need to tell her where I'm going.
Lancer, please show yourself.
How fares Master Kenneth?
Not well, I'm afraid, but I've done everything I can for him. Isn't your fault, Lancer. Kenneth brought it upon himself. The Grail War was far too much for him to handle. Diarmuid, don't you see he isn't worthy of being your master?
Still calls him by his name.
Kenneth has abandoned the battle, giving his rights as your master to me.
He's abandoned it of his own free will. No coercion.
As a knight,
What, is that blood on your
my
sleeve?
loyalty is eternally pledged to Master Kenneth. I cannot consent.
You what? As a servant, you not manifest physically in this world using my mana?
Before I am a servant of the Grail War, I am foremost a knight. And a knight can only serve one master.
Am I so unworthy of being your master?
I've already told you that is not the issue.
Fight beside me.
She
Please,
is
you must
down
protect
so
me.
bad.
Yeah, she needs to relax.
Come and help me.
She's not even wearing a ring.
I cannot.
I don't even know if they wear rings in
Master
Japan.
Kenneth has given up his quest for the Grail. Then I no longer have any interest in it.
You require a miracle to heal him. He has no chance otherwise. We need the Grail if you're feeling responsible for all this. If you desire to give him back
What
his
a-
life and his dignity, must win the Holy Grail.
What a
for your
piece of
master.
fucking work, this lady.
Do you speak as Master Kenneth's wife? I seek the Holy Grail only on his behalf?
Well,
Sure.
yes, of course.
Of course.
That is your only desire? You'll swear to it?
He's got some baggage.
Yes, I swear. As the wife of Lord Kenneth El Malloy, I shall bring my husband the Grail.
Seems legit.
In her eyes. It is the same as Grania had. I don't hate them for what happened. However, fate was simply too cruel to allow it to happen any other way. What I seek from this life is the loyalty denied me in my last. I wish to keep that sad fate from happening again.
Previous life, I threw myself into many battles, oftentimes ignoring the lives that would be lost. I understand Kiritsugu's reasoning. However, the Holy Grail War has very clear rules. It is supposed to be a proxy war conducted by servants. to avoid unnecessary bloodshed.
And to be fair, Kenneth came after him, right?
If Kiritsugu
Actually,
and
not
his
true.
master had not engaged in a secret battle, we could have struck down Castor. Panzer and I could have finished our duel in an honorable fashion. Is there no chance of Kiritsugu changing his mind?
Good
You're
luck
saying
with
no.
that. She doesn't even say. Iris feels such a real one.
If you believe only one thing, believe this. For Kiritsugu and me to make our ideal world a reality, you are absolutely essential.
Here we go.
Does a man good to watch you drink? Oh, thank you.
You should have told us.
And he's got, like, pop.
I cook something special for you.
Don't trouble yourself. The simple pleasures of home and hearth are what are truly best in this world.
He's like holding. Did you see how he's holding the chopsticks? Oh, maybe he's holding them right. It looked weird for a
I
second.
just love
Couldn't
it.
help but worry over how Wavers is doing in his school in England. If he's managed to make friends with a strapping man like you, well, I guess we were worried over nothing. It is I who am in his debt. He even picked out these fine pants. Craftsmanship, they're fit for a king. So, I'll be in Japan, Alexi.
Alexi.
I should have all my work here wrapped up in about a week or so. If you like, you could stay right here with us. I'm pretty sure that there's space enough to put another futon in Waver's room. Oh, yes, the bedding that they sleep on in this land.
In this
Sleeping
land.
on a futon does take some getting used to. I think that is what is best about traveling to distant foreign lands. My favorite thing in life is the surprise of the unknown.
I just love them. Just immediately love him.
You take spiritual form when you come in. Let's go.
Had I done so, I would not have been able to retrieve this. I even managed to procure this fine pair of pants.
This.
It was you who ordered me to do it.
You sent him out?
Why must I,
To go get
the
pants?
king of conquerors, go forth to draw water from some country river?
It's a lot more productive than eating junk food and watching all those videos.
What is this?
Bombs?
Are you being an alchemist?
I'm not playing. I am an alchemist. Idiot. Spellcasting residue. Remnants of magic left in the water.
Oh, he
And
took
that
samples.
someone was recently using magic near the river.
So you can see where it
If
stops.
we follow the trail, may be able to show us where to look for Castor.
Hey, boy. Did you know ahead of time that you were going to find something like that?
Of course not. But this town is unique in that water flows straight through its center. So water was the obvious place to look.
Very smart.
It'll react to everyone until Q. So somewhere between P and Q.
Was there anything between here and here? Maybe an irrigation channel?
Oh, yes. There was one of considerable size down there.
Found it.
If we follow
Yeah, I
it,
hope
it
that
will
they just
probably lead us
absolutely
right to
get
Castor's
rid of him.
hideout.
Certain you aren't a mage of not inconsiderable skill.
Look, a truly skilled mage wouldn't have to do it this way. Wait a minute.
But it's
You're
smart.
making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh boy, quite the opposite. To accomplish something so impressive, simple method outshines those who use a more complex technique.
It does.
As
Because
your servant, I am proud.
it's good because you could have sent a familiar to do some scouting, but then there would kill the familiar and find it. But
And they would know.
Yeah.
This is like, they would never know. that you
unless
were-
they could
unless
feel
they-
his presence, but
Yeah.
if provided they couldn't, yeah.
If we have his location, he's as good as ours. Shall we go give him a good beating right away, boy?
Wait a second. We're talking about engaging Castor here.
He's like already out the door.
No, you don't.
I know.
When it comes to defending his lair, tremendous advantage over any attacker. What kind of moron would just go bursting in the front door?
Think of one.
Listen here. In a combat situation, enemy and allied positions can practically change by the second. Fail to attack the enemy when you know his location. Too late for regrets once you've missed your chance.
You have to
What's
jump on
made
him.
you so eager today?
My master has finally contributed something of worth to our great endeavor.
Finally.
Wow.
As your loyal servant, also do my sacred duty. Seek out and defeat the enemy and bring back his head to you. Don't be so quick to give up before we have even begun. Let us go and see what we can find.
Yes.
It may well work out better than you imagined.
Oh god.
Oh!
See, I was right, wasn't I? Everything has worked out splendidly.
Just like mowing down these things.
Unfortunately, Castor
I like
appears
those.
to be away. I think it would be best if you didn't see this.
What are you talking about? We should at least search for clues to his whereabouts.
Don't do it. Boy, this is far too much for you.
Oh, shut up.
Oh. Oh my god.
I told you not to look.
Shut up! Damn it! Stop making fun of me!
This is no time for pride, foolish boy. If I saw someone who could look on all of this and still remain unmoved, I would punch them hard.
You mean you punched them, you idiots? What about you? You look fine.
That's because now is not the time for emotion. Because my young master's in mortal peril.
Oh, damn.
Assassin's here, but not caster.
Assassin's dead. I saw him die.
We can't afford to be surprised, boy.
Oh,
Oh,
damn.
God.
I wonder why they're making him move. Just expose. I mean, I guess they probably think that they can win, so they won't get exposed.
So Kirei knew about cast, or unless they followed them there.
The how of it is totally irrelevant. One thing here is for certain. Anyone in this war who believed in Assassin's untimely demise as we did has been thoroughly deceived.
We're in.
Do not let your guard down. We killed 2. There appeared to be an additional 2 at this rate.
There
Who
could
can
be
say how
a
many
million.
assassins there truly are. This is Assassin's preferred terrain. We should withdraw.
To a nice, well-lit, open area.
Like this?
Perhaps you'd find something if you were to look, but let it go. We'll just have to break what we can. If nothing else, it will serve to slow Caster down.
So sad.
No.
It's really fucked up. That's what he said when he got back to Ryunosuke, that he would erect a veritable Tower of Babel of corpses
Yeah.
of the innocent.
Hideout destroyed and completely in ruin. Caster will no longer be able to hide.
It's also really fucked up because it's like, yeah, they're like destroying all of the
Evidence.
Well, it's like, yeah, they're destroying all the stuff to like be destroying all of like Caster's
Magic,
and all of his area and all like they're like trashing his domain basically. But it's fucked up because it's like all of these kids are like missing and no one will ever know like what happened to them.
Yeah.
Because their bodies just
Honestly,
all got
it would be
burnt
better
up.
not to know. And the church would do the same thing. Because the church, like, they are in charge of keeping magic secret and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
I
dealing with
guess.
magical crimes and shit. So it would have happened whether they did it or someone else did it. And if they know who that Caster is the one who did it, then they just need to kill Caster.
Yeah.
But it is sad that no one will know, but we wouldn't have known anyway.
Forced to come out of the shadows into the open and show himself. Won't be too long before we put an end to him and his master.
Kids! Quit doing that!
Let us be off, boy.
I like the tails on the what are those, like oxes?
Ox. Yeah.
They're really nice. You
Do
got
not let it
discovered.
trouble you, Kirei. It is unfortunate that Assassin was exposed to them before we could discern the nature of Ryder's ultimate weapon.
So they were following
From
them.
this encounter, we found out that Ryder's master is a mere third-rate mage.
Yes, but had they not been discovered?
You think that other options would have become available to you?
Yes.
While your plans are certainly important,
You must see to it that you remain refined and relaxed. Dignity is required even during battle.
But I never expected that he'd be such a dull and boring person.
we will certainly have another chance to see Ryder's
Damn, he was
ultimate
right.
attack. Have Assassin continue to monitor Ryder, but remind them to take great care as they do.
It will be done.
That's it. It's such a weird episode.
Is that-
What do you think of the episode?
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a good episode. The freaking this lady just completely backs him into a corner, takes all his stuff, and then is like, "You'll serve me now." And he's like, "Actually, no. Like, I'm not really interested. I made a deal with that guy, but like, if he's not in it, then sorry, I'm also out." And then she's just like, "Fine, let me change tactics." What if the only way that you
To
can
recover
serve
him.
him is to
save
help
him,
me
yeah.
help him?
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right. And then he's like, he kind of knows that she's bullshitting, but like, what else is there to do, really? Yeah. Because it's like, even if she's lying, it's like kind of not up to him to I mean, it kind of is, but it's also like,
Well, and it's also because he, like, it's what Kane has said. It's in order for them to be called on as heroic spirits, they need to want the grail, which is kind of interesting. But it's basically that you can't be called to fight for something if you have no desire to fight. So he has a goal, but he said he didn't have a goal because his goal is actually to recover his honor by serving his master faithfully, basically. So he says, I don't have a goal, because his goal doesn't conflict. His goal is to be a good servant and to be a good knight. Because in his life, he forsook his oath in order for love, and then he got his just desserts, basically. And then it's tragic, but he feels like he dishonored himself. And he wants to recover that honor in this war. So, of course, he would want to, like, save Kaneth, but it's really, it's just, I really like their story, because it's like, he's such a good guy, and he just becomes more good. And Kaneth has, like, a crazy transformation, too, because he was pushed by his wife to be reckless, to, like, have an ego, and then it backfired, and then she just is taking advantage of him. So then he kind of, like, goes from just a complete asshole to being humbled beyond belief.
Yeah.
So, and it just makes it really interesting. And then she sucks.
Yeah.
She sucks. But also, it is like, it's layered, because you do like seeing him get humbled and seeing his wife like be a little bit crazy and like fuck with him in like a kind of sadistic way, like you get like kind of a little thrill from seeing him squirm a little bit. He's kind of like a Joffrey type figure.
Yeah.
But you also are kind of happy to see him maybe grow a little bit and see their relationship grow, and then to see that he, diarmuid, is also growing, and we get to see a little bit more of his sort of thought process. I don't know, it's just all really interesting to me.
Yeah. And then poor Saber just like, how about let's prevent the murder of dozens of children.
Well,
okay, I can't, but like he does have a plan, and like I've done the same thing, but it still sucks, basically.
Yeah. And so I really like how they mirror each other as well, because she has a similar thing to diarmuid, where she lived her life a certain way and she wants to kind of make up for it now. But she, in a way, it's like you're dead. Like, so it's kind of like you're like with both of them. It's like you're going to kind of fuck up your master's plans, or like with Saber specifically. You're gonna like constantly be arguing with what he wants to do, because you fucked up hundreds of years ago. And so like, and then, you're not gonna, you know what I mean? It's just like, you're not a creature of the present. You're a relic of the past, and you're here to serve a purpose. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that they don't have feelings, that she doesn't have a point, and that she, but she's basically taking out her reservations that she never got, or her regrets of the past on this situation now. And it's kind of frustrating for Kiritsugu, who is like, you don't live today. When this is over, I have to deal with this situation. Yeah. You're dead. So she made the sacrifices that he's making now in her time, and she's thinking maybe it's not worth it, maybe it is, but I don't feel good about it. And he's like, we kind of have to make the sacrifice. Then we have Waver and Alexi. I love how they're just like hanging out. Yeah. Like, and the like old couple just like loves him. He's like so entertaining for them. They're like, oh man, look at this guy. He's so great. Why didn't you tell us he was coming over? Oh, you can just live with us, actually. Yeah. Why don't you just stay here?
And I love Waver's just like, oh my fucking god. It's like working out better than it ever possibly could. Yeah. But he's just pissed off that he's like, I gave you one rule, and it was don't get seen by them, and you immediately blew your cover. But it's so good, and it was so fun.
Yeah. Well, and it's also just weird for him because these aren't his real grandparents.
Yeah.
Like they're people that he just kind of bewitched. So it's kind of like he probably feels a little bit bad for having to do that.
Yeah.
But he kind of has to. So then I think that explains his sort of silence in this whole situation and his frustration. And then using alchemy to detect like a magic residue in the water. Really smart.
Cool.
Really
Very
smart.
cool.
Yeah, and they found it, and then they were being watched by Assassin, and then the Assassin took the opportunity to attack them when their guard was down.
Yeah, which I
but
was a good idea in
hasty.
theory, but it was a bit too soon.
It was a bit hasty,
and especially with the whole thing of Assassin, because it's like, especially with the kind of guy that like Ryder is, he would want to warn, as we know, like obviously Saber already knows about Assassin, but like, there's other people that don't know about him. And it it calls into question the whole thing of if the secret is out, then it's like, okay, you're hiding in the church. Well, okay, the church is clearly biased when they're not supposed to be because he's still...
It's like, okay, so the church accepted him when he like asked for sanctuary.
Yeah.
Because he was out of the game and he wanted protection so that no one would come after his command seals or something. Like, but then... they had to have known. So then, it immediately calls into question. And Kiritsugu already put that together. That it was clearly a farce.
But it's like, Kiritsugu, because of the kind of person that he is, he's like, okay, let's not tell anyone else. Let's, like, kind of counter spy and see what he's doing and not blow the cover that we know his secret.
Yeah.
But, Ryder is a lot more like, okay, I'm just gonna, like, scream it from the rooftops that this guy... the assassin is still around and that guy's tricking us.
Yeah.
And we need to watch out. And if everyone knows that, then I wonder if that's going to put pressure on the church to be like, oh no, we didn't know. Somehow we didn't know and we let him in, but now he has to get kicked out. Or if they're just going to be like, no comment, Yeah. I guess I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to, how that's kind of going to play into it.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens next time. Leave a like, subscribe. See you next one person.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.